Jackass was the ultimate don't try this at home show. The dangerous stunts and pranks Johnny Knoxville and company performed on themselves and others is the stuff of legend. With Jackass 4 scheduled to hit theaters on March 5th, 2021, it made us wonder what everybody's been up to since 2010's Jackass 3D. We dug around and this is what we found. The star of Jackass, the franchise's creator, and the undisputed face of the franchise, Johnny Knoxville is forever tied to the show, no matter what else he does.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass! Whoa!
That said, he's not been sitting around since Jackass 3D, and it's impossible for someone like him to sit around without feeling the need to throw himself into something hard and painful. Knoxville has been branching out in the world of acting, appearing in mainstream films such as Above Suspicion, Polar, Skip Trace, Elvis and Nixon, and Movie 43, among many others. If you saw the Michael Bay reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you might have recognized the former professional stuntman as the voice of Leonardo. Occasionally, he appears in projects that involve putting his body on the line, such as the time he appeared on WWE Raw and got bludgeoned by a 7'1", 400-pound behemoth called the Great Khali. That's to say nothing of his 2013 run in the movie Bad Grandpa, where he played his old man character from Jackass and pulled off fun and harmless stunts like getting his junk caught in a vending machine. Outside of work, Knoxville is quite the family man, having 3 children with his first wife. His youngest, Arlo, was born in 2008, 2 years before Knoxville married his second wife. No, they did not exchange vows while shooting each other in the stomach with painful projectiles, though we're sure Knoxville wanted to. Steve-O, known as Stephen Gilchrist Glover to his parents, has led a pretty crazy life, even for Jackass standards. On the show, he was considered the loose cannon, as he was most often the one willing to absolutely destroy himself for a laugh. Even Johnny Knoxville had his limits, but Steve-O seemingly had none. Like Knoxville, Steve-O appeared on WWE Raw in 2006 and got his lights knocked out. But whereas Knoxville got beaten down according to the script, Steve-O got knocked out for real. He took the planned beating from a large wrestler named Umaga, but for whatever reason decided to act like it was the funniest thing ever. He even got up like nothing hurt, a real no-no in wrestling. So Umaga punched him out legitimately. For Steve-O, the notoriety was worth it. Less worth it were the legal troubles he's gotten into outside of Jackass. He's had a long history of substance abuse, and in 2011 was actually arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Thankfully, he's been sober for over a decade, and is focused mostly on his stand-up and his incredibly popular YouTube channel.
Yeah, dude.
In short, he's largely stayed out of trouble. Well, except for that time in 2014 when he was arrested for trespassing into SeaWorld and blowing up an inflatable whale filled with fireworks. But that's just in good Jackass-style fun. As for Jackass 4, there's a halfway decent chance you don't see Steve-O in it. According to him, he has not yet received a serious contract offer, so he may wind up sitting this one out. At least he's got his stand-up and YouTube to occupy his time.
Nothing sucks on my channel, so subscribe here.
Outside of Knoxville, few Jackass cast members have built more of a resume around the show than former skateboarder and stuntman Brandon "Bam" Margera. His wholesome yet hilarious rapport with his parents resulted in a long-running spin-off show called Viva La Bam, and in 2010 he hosted a Spike TV show called Bam's World Domination. Outside of those projects, Margera is also a musician who has released 2 albums with 2 bands. One band is called The Eavesdroppers, and the other, well, we can't say because the name is incredibly naughty. Let's just call it Bleep Face Unstoppable, and you can figure out the rest. As for Jackass 4, there is legitimate doubt Bam will be part of it, as his health is very much in shambles right now. Unlike Steve-O, Margera has had considerable trouble staying sober and suffers from mental illness on top of it. After at least 3 failed attempts at rehab and another mental breakdown in late 2019, Margera called out to Dr. Phil for help. There, he detailed his grief over losing his friend and Jackass co-star Ryan Dunn, and how he's currently on the outs with both his wife and mother.
I've never lost anybody that I care about. It's my best friend.
As fun as seeing Bam hurt himself in Jackass 4 would be, it's far more important that he focus on himself, on getting clean and staying clean, and on mending fences with his family. If that means no Jackass in 2021 for Bam, so be it. Chris Pontius might not have a funny nickname, but he was just as much a part of the Jackass crew as anyone else.
You may be able to lock us up, but you will never stop us from partying!
He was there from day one, and has proven himself completely willing to destroy himself at any opportunity. He took that willingness to another level with the 2003 spin-off Wild Boys, where he and Steve-O would interact with some of nature's most dangerous creatures, and naturally get hurt along the way. From emperor scorpion bites to nearly being eaten by a bear, Wild Boys was very much a step beyond Jackass in terms of pure brutality. Pontius has acted beyond Jackass in films such as Action Point and sitcoms like Raising Hope, but for the most part, Pontius has kept a low profile since Jackass ended. Will this change once Jackass 4 comes out? That's hard to say, as Pontius is now busy being something else, a dad. In December 2019, Pontius announced the birth of his first child, Axe Magnus Pontius. We wish the new family all the best, and are jealous that little Axe might just have the coolest name in recorded history. Dave England started out his professional life as a snowboarder, but found his true calling on Jackass, performing disgusting and dangerous acts for our entertainment.
I'm Dave England, and this is Dizzy Boxing.
He boasts the rare ability to poop and vomit on command, which Jackass exploited vociferously, as you might expect. So if you enjoy seeing people hurt themselves but have a weak stomach for filthy bodily functions, steer clear of Dave England's segments. Outside of Jackass, England has acted in several films, such as The Bet and Natural Born Pranksters. He's appeared on TV shows such as Ridiculousness and WWE's own prank show Swerved, where he got tricked into eating ghost pepper hamburgers and shockingly didn't vomit first. Other than that, and a likely appearance in Jackass 4, you likely haven't heard much from Dave England of late. That's because he's mostly a stuntman, so his work is largely anonymous. Plus, he's a father of 4, his latest child just 4 years old, so he's super busy with fatherhood above all else. We can only imagine how interesting it is for a child to get potty trained by someone who can poop his own pants literally whenever he wants. Jason Acuna, better known as Wee Man, because, well, look at him, is one of the more memorable members of the Jackass crew. He's taken part in stunts both dangerous and not. Regarding the latter, his size made it so he could pull fun and harmless gags like hiding in fellow cast member Preston Lacey's bags, only to pop out and scare everyone around them. Since Jackass, Acuna has kept busy as an actor and businessman. In 2012, he starred in the film Elfman as the title character, and in 2014, he appeared in the Selena Gomez comedy Behaving Badly. In 2017, he voiced a character in Adult Swim show Squidbillies. Then there's business. Acuna likes food, and since 2010 has been an investor in a chain of Mexican restaurants called Chronic Taco. Despite taking a couple of years off, the business has thrived, and Acuna even opened a new location in Long Beach, California back in 2017. His living situation is intriguing. As of 2019, he apparently lives in a van.
Welcome to me and the beast.
He's not homeless or destitute, but rather chooses to do so. He sold his mansion for over $2 million and now lives the van life. As he explained while appearing on the YouTube show Van Talk, living a simple life in a van suits him best of all. I realize the more shit you have, he says, the more issues you have. I like being on the road. I love traveling. I straight said, fuck it, I'm gonna get a van. I'm gonna live in it, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
I'm gonna get a van, and I'm gonna live in it, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
He seems happy with van life, which is great for him. Plus, when he films Jackass 4, now they won't have to rent him a trailer. Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O became famous for pulling off insane stunts, but Preston Lacey was likely the one who thought them up.
Hello, I'm Preston Lacey. This is Beauty and the Beast.
Lacey is both a stuntman and a writer, and devised a majority of the scenes and stunts we saw on Jackass. He certainly took part in stunts as well, but if ever there was a man behind the curtain on the show, it was him. If you haven't heard much from Lacey since Jackass 3D, there's a good reason for that. He hasn't done much acting. He's appeared on Ridiculousness a couple of times alongside Wee Man, but aside from that, he's kept a very low profile. That doesn't mean he's an unemployed hermit, however. Indeed, if you're a fan of live stand-up comedy, you probably know him very well. Since the show ended, Lacey has spent much of his time writing comedy and performing stand-up all over the country. He performs at bars, clubs, fairs, and just about any other place that will have him. He's likely to appear in Jackass 4, but after that, it's likely back to the stand-up circuit for him. Clearly, he's most at home there, and what a great laugh-filled home it must be. Aaron Danger McGee is a Jackass fan's best friend and a dentist's worst enemy.
I'm Danger Aaron, and this is the Lamborghini tooth pull.
He's lost many teeth to various daredevil stunts over the years, and if he appears in Jackass 4, which is likely, expect him to lose at least a couple more. Outside of Jackass and other stunt work, Danger McGee does have a pretty full resume. He has appeared on TV shows such as Portlandia, Ridiculousness, and Grimm. He's also tackled the film world, appearing in 2016's All Hell Breaks Loose. But for the most part, he's a Jackass guy through and through, much to the dismay of his dentist. Ryan Dunn was one of the craziest members of the Jackass crew.
I'm Ryan Dunn, and this is the Ram Jam.
Some stunts were too crazy and dangerous even for people like Steve-O, but Dunn rarely turned down a challenge no matter how terrible it sounded. This tally-ho attitude resulted in a major injury while filming Jackass No. 2, where he injured his shoulder and suffered a blood clot that wound up close enough to his brain to threaten his life. Outside of Jackass, Dunn appeared in an episode of Law & Order SVU, films like Blonde Ambition and Street Dreams, and hosted the show's Homewrecker and Proving Ground. Sadly, Dunn passed away on June 20th, 2011. He was driving his Porsche while intoxicated and wound up going over 130 miles per hour. He crashed into a tree and the car exploded into flames. Dunn and Jackass production assistant Zach Hartwell both perished in the accident. He was mourned by the Jackass community and beyond. Johnny Knoxville wrote on Twitter that day, "Today I lost my brother Ryan Dunn. My heart goes out to his family and his beloved Angie. R.I.P. Ryan, I love you, buddy." Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his death, it's a true tragedy. And as great as Jackass 4 should be, it simply won't be the same without him.